The galaxy was at peace. For hundreds of years, no war had touched its stars. The alien races lived together with rules, trade, and meetings. The Galactic Council solved all problems with calm words. No one had seen a real battle in generations. The younger races did not even know what war felt like. Ships were made for travel, not fighting. Planets were soft and safe. The galaxy had become quiet, soft, and proud. Then the signal came. It was small and strange, full of noise and fire. It came from a star system on the edge of space. The system was called Sol. The planet was blue and green. The signal was human. The Council sent a scout ship. It was fast and silent. Its job was to watch and report. Inside were 2 alien scientists and 1 pilot. They arrived near Earth and saw something that made them sit in silence. The humans were different. Their world was wild and dangerous. Giant storms moved across the seas. Animals hunted each other on land. The temperature changed fast. And still, humans lived everywhere. On mountains, in deserts, under the sea, even in space. They survive everything, the pilot said. The scientists watched human history. It was full of fire and blood, wars, struggles, falls, and rises. But it also had music, art, and laughter. Humans had destroyed each other many times, but always rebuilt. And each time, they came back stronger. One human quote kept appearing in their records. "What doesn't kill me, makes me stronger." The aliens didn't understand. Their worlds were safe. Their pasts were calm. The idea of learning from pain was strange. The scout ship tried to send a greeting. It sent peaceful signals. It waited. The reply came fast. A human voice filled the ship. Spoke perfect galactic common. "Hello, we see you. Do you come in peace?" The alien crew froze. No new species had ever learned the language so fast. One scientist answered, "Yes, we come in peace. We are from the Galactic Council." The voice replied, "Interesting. We thought you might be watching. Would you like to meet?" That was the start. The Council invited a small group of humans to the central hub, Taros Station. It was the heart of the galaxy, home to over 400 species. The humans arrived in a ship that looked old but strong. It had burns and marks on the outside. It had stories to tell. When the humans stepped off, silence fell. They were tall, but not huge. Strong, but not beasts. Their eyes were sharp. Their bodies held still power. They walked like soldiers, even though they wore soft clothes. Council leader Varn met them first. "We welcome you to the peaceful galaxy," he said with a warm smile. The human leader nodded. "Thank you. We're glad to be here." For the next few days, the humans explored. They asked questions, many questions. They visited every planet's embassy. They studied weapons, laws, and maps. The Council offered tests, cultural, mental, physical. The humans agreed. That's when the Council began to worry. One human solved a complex math test in minutes. Another broke a combat simulator meant for elite warriors. One female officer beat a champion from the Kordax race using only basic training. The humans didn't brag, they didn't smile, they simply nodded and said, "We trained for worse." A scientist whispered to his friend, "They act like they expect war all the time." More strange things happened. Human tech, though simple, worked in hard places. It adapted quickly. Their AI was smaller but smarter. Their minds learned fast. Too fast. A spy report came in from the edge of Council space. An alien ship had tried to scan the human vessel without permission. The human ship turned, locked on with weapons, and sent one warning. "Try again and we respond." The alien ship backed off. Council leader Varn met with his inner circle. "They are not what we expected," he said. "They are survivors," said one advisor. "They were not born in peace like us. They were shaped by pain." "Can we trust them?" Varn asked. The room went silent. One elder spoke slowly. "We trusted peace too much. We forgot what war looks like. They did not. That may be their gift, or our doom." Back on Earth, the human leader smiled as he watched news from Taros Station. "They think we're strange," he said. An officer laughed. "Good. Let them wonder. Let them remember. Remember what? What humans do when pushed. The Galactic Council wanted to understand humans better. They had seen their strength, their skills, and their strange world. But they still did not know what made humans different. The Council believed in knowledge, so they decided to test the humans in many ways. Peacefully, of course. A group of humans stayed at Taros Station. They were called observers, but they knew they were being studied. The humans agreed to the tests without question. They didn't seem worried. Some even smiled. The first test was mental strength. The humans sat in rooms with loud noise, flashing lights, and confusing puzzles. Most aliens became dizzy or tired within minutes. But the humans stayed calm. One of them, Captain Diaz, even laughed and solved the puzzle faster than the computer. Your test is too easy, she said. Try again. The scientists were shocked. Next came emotional control. Aliens who passed this test were known for peace and calm. The test showed sad images, fake danger, and even lies. But the humans didn't panic. They stayed quiet. One human simply crossed his arms and said, "We've seen worse on Earth news." A Cadran scientist asked him, "Why are you not afraid?" The man replied, "Fear is normal, but we do not let it stop us." Then came physical tests. A strong, alien species called the Goran challenged the humans in strength and speed. The Goran were large and powerful. Most races could not beat them, but the humans surprised everyone. A short woman named Sergeant Holt lifted the heavy weight with ease. A tall man named Patel ran through the course like wind. One human even won a fight using strange moves the aliens had never seen. "What style is that?" the judge asked. "Mixed martial arts," the human said. "We invented it for fun." The aliens stared in silence. The council started to worry. These humans were not just strong, they were smart. They learned fast. They adapted to every challenge. They didn't get angry or proud. They acted like people who had seen danger before and survived. Then came the combat simulations. These were made for training warriors. They were not real, but they felt real. The humans entered the arena and faced holographic enemies. The enemies were fast, smart, and deadly, but the humans moved like they had done this before. Captain Diaz led her team. She gave hand signals. The team moved in silence, covered each other, and took down the enemies quickly. No talking, no panic, only action. The watching aliens gasped. One young soldier asked, "How do they know real battle? Who fights like that in peace?" An old alien commander answered, "They don't come from peace." The final test was teamwork. The council wanted to see if humans could work with other species. They created a fake mission with a mixed team. A human, a Tarlan, a Jixi, and a Norin had to solve a crisis together. The Tarlan was slow but wise. The Jixi was fast but nervous. The Norin followed rules too strictly. The human saw this and smiled. "Okay," she said. "Let's make this work." She gave each team member a job that fit their skill. She kept the mission simple. When the Norin froze from too many rules, the human calmed him down. When the Jixi panicked, she spoke softly. When the Tarlan took too long, she helped without rushing. The team passed the test with the best score in years. The alien observers were stunned. "They understand others quickly," one said. "They lead without force," another added. "Most species need time to learn this. How are they so fast?" Council leader Varn called a private meeting with the humans. He smiled, but his eyes were serious. "You pass every test," he said. "Your people are unique." The human leader, Commander Reeve, nodded. "We had to be," Varn asked. "Why do you prepare for war when we offer peace?" Reeve answered quietly. "Because peace never lasts forever. We hope for peace, but we train for worse." That answer made the room silent. Later that night, alien leaders talked among themselves. Some were afraid, some were curious, some wanted to keep watching. Others wanted to keep their distance. One scientist, who had watched all the tests, said something that stayed in everyone's mind. "They do not train to win. They train to survive. That makes them dangerous. Back on the human ship, Commander. Reeve looked out the window at the stars. They're testing us, said one officer. Yes, Reeve replied. And they don't like the answers. Another officer asked, do we change their minds? Reeve shook his head. No. We show them the truth, and we let them decide if they want us as friends or fear us as enemies. Darrow Station was the center of peace in the galaxy. Every species followed the rules there. No weapons, no violence, only respect. For hundreds of years the rules worked, but everything changed after the humans arrived. The Council had finished testing the humans. Most of the galaxy now talked about them. Some called them strong, some called them dangerous. Others simply called them different. Many alien leaders became nervous. They whispered in quiet rooms. They wondered if humans were truly peaceful, or just pretending. One race, the Varnock, hated the humans the most. They believed humans were a threat. The Varnock had once been warriors. Long ago, but peace had made them soft. They feared anyone who reminded them of their violent past, and the humans reminded them too much. Varnock Commander Gerald made a choice. He sent a small spy team to the human ship. Their job was simple: break into the ship's data and steal information. The humans would never know. At least, that's what Gerald believed. The Varnock spy ship floated near the human vessel, cloaked and quiet. One drone was sent out. It attached to the human ship's hull. The drone began to scan, looking for files, power levels, weapon types. But something went wrong. Inside the human ship, alarms went off. Red lights blinked. A soft female voice spoke to the crew. Unauthorized scan detected. External breach. Activating defense protocol. The human crew moved fast. They didn't panic. They didn't scream. One officer said, "Commander, we're being scanned. They're trying to enter our data." Commander Reeve didn't waste time. "Trace the source. Lock weapons. Don't fire unless they attack." The drone was found and destroyed in seconds. The signal was traced back to the Varnock ship. The humans sent a warning message in a cold, clear voice. "We see you. Don't do it again." The Varnock ship tried to escape, but the human ship followed, staying just out of reach. News of the incident reached the Council fast. Council leader, Varn, was shocked. "Who attacked whom?" he asked. The Varnock lied. "We were only watching. The humans reacted with aggression." But the humans shared video proof. The footage showed the Varnock drone trying to break into their systems. The Council had no choice but to believe the humans. Still, they were afraid. One council member said, "They handled it without firing. But what if they had fired? What kind of damage could they do?" Another whispered, "They showed us patience, but also power." The council asked the humans for a private meeting. Inside the meeting room, tensions were high. Commander Reeve stood calm. "We came in peace," one council member said. "But you responded with force." Reeve replied, "We only responded with strength. We didn't fire. We protected our ship. Is that wrong?" Varn looked at him closely. "Do humans always respond this way?" Reeve answered, "When someone knocks politely, we open the door. When someone breaks the lock, we push back." The council couldn't argue with that, but the galaxy had already changed. News of the failed spy attempt spread quickly. Every race now knew someone tried to test the humans secretly and failed. The Varnock were embarrassed. The other races grew, silent. Some respected the humans even more, some feared them. A few started preparing for what might come next. Back on the human ship, the crew gathered in the meeting room. "First spy attack already?" one officer joked. Commander Reeve nodded. "It was expected. They thought we'd react wildly." Another added, "They don't know us yet," Reeve said. "They think strength means violence, but we show control. That's real power." That night on Darrow Station, an alien child asked his parent, "Are the humans scary?" The parent thought for a moment, then said, "They're not scary, they're ready. That's what makes others nervous." Meanwhile, Varnock Commander Gerald met with his own council. His plan had failed. His people were angry. "You made us look weak," one leader said. "No," Giral replied. "I showed you the truth. The humans are too powerful to ignore. If we don't stop them now, we never will." The Varnock began to plan again. But now they were not alone. Others were starting to choose sides. Some wanted to work with humans. Some wanted to keep them out of council space. And a few, like Gerald, wanted to destroy them. What the galaxy didn't know was this: the humans were watching, and they were ready for whatever came next. The air around Taros Station had changed. What was once calm now felt heavy. Something unseen was moving. Whispers ran through every hallway, across every planet. The galaxy had seen what the humans could do, and now everyone had to choose: stand with them or stand against them. The Varnock were the first to act. After their failed spying attempt, they held a secret meeting with other nervous species. These were races that had once ruled with power before peace softened them. Now they feared that humans might bring war back into their lives. Varnock Commander. Giral stood in the middle of the room. His voice was cold and firm. "We must stop them before it's too late. Humans hide their true strength. They speak of peace, but they prepare for battle. Do not be fooled," a Narnak general agreed. "They are deathworlders. Their world is chaos. No species from a planet like Earth can be trusted." Others nodded. They formed a silent group. Their goal was clear: watch the humans closely, and prepare to strike if needed. Back on the human ship, Commander Reeves stood in front of his team. "They're organizing," he said. "Against us?" an officer asked. Reeves nodded. "Yes, not all of them, but enough. What do? We stay calm, we stay smart. Let them draw the lines. Let them show the galaxy who wants peace and who wants war." Meanwhile, a few alien species came to the humans in secret. The Jixi, a nervous but clever race, sent a message. "We have seen the truth," their leader said. "You protect, not attack. We will not forget." Others followed: the Tarlan, the Oros, and even a few Goran. These races respected strength, but more than that, they respected control. Humans had both. A quiet line was forming across the galaxy. Two sides now existed: those who feared humans and those who wanted to learn from them. The Galactic Council grew worried. Leader Varn called another meeting. The large round room was filled with noise, fear, and rising anger. A Varnock diplomat stood. "We cannot allow deathworlders to walk freely among us. Their presence brings danger." A Jixi speaker replied, "No, their strength brings balance. You fear them because you cannot control them." Voices grew louder. Words became sharp. Some shouted. Some threatened. The council, once proud and united, was now breaking apart. Leader Varn raised his hand. "Enough." The room fell silent. "We are not children," he said. "We do not choose sides in fear, we choose in truth." He turned to Commander Reeve. "Tell us, human, what do you want?" Reeve stood calmly. His voice was low, but every word carried weight. "We want peace. But peace with truth. Not fake smiles, not silence hiding fear. We won't kneel, we won't lie, we will protect our people and those who stand with us." He paused. "We don't want war. But if war comes, we will not lose." That was the moment. Lines were truly drawn. Some species stood and walked out of the chamber: Varnock, Narnak, and others. The divide was no longer hidden. The galaxy had split. After the meeting, rumors spread like fire. "War is coming," some said. "Humans will bring it," others replied. But on Earth, in underground bunkers and space command centers, humans had already seen this coming. They watched every signal, read every message, prepared every ship. Commander Reeves stood in the war room with his officers. "They've made their choice," he said. "So now we make ours." "Defensive action only?" asked one. Reeve nodded. "For now. But we prepare for every path. If they want peace, we offer it. If they want war—" He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't need to. Above Taros Station, the stars were still bright. But something had changed. The silence of space now held tension. Ships moved differently. Messages were shorter. Smiles faded. Fear was growing. The galaxy had known peace for a long time. Too long, perhaps. And now, a new force had entered. A force that came from a world where storms were normal, where danger shaped strength, where war was not just history but memory. Earth had sent its best, and they were not leaving. The first shot came in silence. No warnings, no message, just fire in the dark. It was a small human patrol ship near the edge of neutral space. 4 crew members, a routine mission. Then, without reason, it exploded. Gone in seconds. No survivors. The message was clear. Someone had declared war. But they did not say it with words. They said it with death. Back on Earth's flagship, the Valor, Commander Reeve stood over the blinking red alert. The screen showed the destroyed patrol ship. A name. Hopebreaker. It had been one of their fastest ships. Now it was space dust. Reeves' jaw tightened. Who did this, he asked, though he already knew the answer. Signal came from Varnock territory, an officer said. They use stealth weapons. Old style, but effective. Reeve didn't speak for a moment. Then he looked at his team. Prepare the fleet. We don't wait anymore. Across the galaxy, the humans sent out a signal. To all races, this was an act of war. We will answer. Some species cheered in silence. Others shivered. The Varnock had drawn first blood. Now the galaxy would see what humans were truly capable of. The next day, the Valor jumped to the edge of Varnock space. It wasn't alone. 5 other human warships arrived beside it, their hulls black and sharp like blades in the stars. The Varnock defense line was ready. 20 ships, lined like a wall. But they didn't speak. They didn't even warn the humans to turn back. Instead, they powered weapons. Commander Reeve gave one final order. No mercy for traitors. Defend Earth. And then the void caught fire. Red beams, blue plasma, missiles, explosions. Space lit up like a deadly storm. The humans didn't just fight, they moved like hunters. Fast, smart, silent. Every shot they took hit a target. Every move had purpose. The Varnock ships tried to match them, but they were slower. Their weapons were older. Their plans were simple. Within minutes, 5 Varnock ships were gone. Burning wrecks drifted in space. Still, they did not run. That was their second mistake. The human warship Iron Will took a direct hit. Fire burst from its side. For a moment it looked like it would fall, but instead it turned, powered forward, and slammed into a Varnock cruiser at full speed. Both ships vanished in a massive flash. The shockwave echoed in space. Inside the Valor, no one cheered. No one smiled. They were not here for glory. They were here to end a threat. By the time the battle ended, only 2 Varnock ships limped away. They jumped into hyperspace, broken and scared. The humans did not follow. Reeve let them go. They'll carry the message for us, he said. The message spread fast. The humans had won, not with luck, not with tricks, with power, precision, planning. The Council, still pretending to stay neutral, sent a message to Earth. This attack was unfortunate. We ask for calm. Commander Reeve answered simply. We stayed calm. They started the fire. We put it out. Other races watched closely. Some races who once feared humans now started to admire them. Even those who hated war whispered in quiet rooms. If Earth is this strong alone, what would happen if we fought them together? The Varnock, back on their homeworld, were in shock. Commander Giral, once proud, now stood silent in front of his leaders. They lost only 1 ship, someone whispered. And we lost nearly everything, another said. Still, Giral refused to admit defeat. We made them show their power, he said. Now we plan smarter. But no one answered him. The truth was clear. The humans were not just strong, they were prepared. They were fast. And above all, they did not fear war. Back on the Valor, the crew worked in silence. Repairs were being made, systems checked, lives counted. Commander Reeve looked out the window into the stars. One war doesn't end peace, he said softly, but sometimes peace hides the next war. He turned to his crew. This isn't over. The Varnock may run, but others will rise. We have shown them what we are. Now they will test us again. And they would. The galaxy had drawn its lines. Fire had fallen from the sky, and Earth had answered. But the war was far from finished. The Deathworlders had only just begun. The galaxy was burning, but not with fire. It burned with fear, with questions, with silence. After the battle in space, many worlds pulled back. Trade stopped. Talks paused. Everyone waited to see what humans would do next. Some still believed they could control the humans. Others thought the humans would stop after one battle. But they were wrong. On Earth, leaders met in a deep war room. It was quiet but serious. The president, generals, and advisors sat around a large table. Screens showed moving ships and enemy signals. Varnock forces are regrouping, one general said. They've started building stations near neutral zones. They want revenge, someone added. The president looked at everyone. We didn't ask for war, but we won't run from it. We protect our own, and those who stand with us. She turned to the screen. If they want to break the peace, they'll have to break us first. At the same time, on a small, peaceful world called Relo, something terrible happened. The planet had once been a center for learning. Scientists, scholars, and artists lived there. It had no weapons, no army. But it had chosen to support Earth. That was enough. One night, Varnock warships came through the sky. They didn't speak. They didn't warn. They just attacked. Buildings burned. Libraries turned to ash. Families ran to the mountains. And when it was over, the Varnock left nothing behind but smoke and silence. Only one ship escaped. It carried a small group of Relo survivors. They flew through space with broken systems and no food, trying to reach human space. When they arrived, they were half dead. But their story was clear. Relo was gone. When Commander Reeve heard the news, he said nothing for a long time. He stood alone in the control room of the Valor, eyes closed, fists tight. They destroyed an innocent world, his officer said. Just to send a message, Reeve finally spoke. Then we'll send one back. Earth called for an emergency council meeting. Only half of the members came, the rest were too afraid or had already picked a side. Commander Reeve stood in front of them. His face was calm, but cold. You want to wait? You want to talk? But talking didn't save Relo. Talking didn't stop the Varnock. He looked at them one by one. You asked who humans really are. You're about to find out. Then he left. Across Earth's fleet, war orders were sent. Every ship was armed, every soldier called, every drone powered. The humans didn't wait for the enemy this time. They went hunting. First, they found a Varnock base near a quiet moon. No defenses, no help. It was gone in minutes. Then they attacked a weapons factory hidden deep in an asteroid field. It had protected the Varnock for decades. Not anymore. The final strike came fast. A deep space station filled with enemy commanders. Earth's elite unit dropped in, silent, fast, deadly. The galaxy watched in shock. Every action was sharp, perfect, unstoppable. Humans were not just strong, they were surgical, controlled, focused. But they were also angry, and that anger shook the stars. In the Varnock homeworld, fear spread for the first time. Commander Giral, once proud, now looked tired. His council blamed him. You promised they would run, one said. You said they were weak inside, another added. Gerald didn't answer. He knew the truth now. Humans were not weak. They had just been patient. Back on Earth, news spread. Videos of relos, falling messages from human soldiers, pictures of alien children hiding in destroyed cities. The people of Earth didn't cheer. They didn't smile. But they stood together. They knew this war was not just about planets or power. It was about survival, about justice, about showing the galaxy that Earth was not to be broken. Not now. Not ever. Commander Reeve sat in his chair aboard the Valor. He looked out at the stars, voice quiet. This was the breaking point. He turned to his crew. Next time, we end it. The stars were quiet. But it was not peace, it was fear. It was the silence before the final storm. Across the galaxy, everyone now knew the truth. Humans were not like the others. They did not fight for power. They fought for survival. They fought for each other. And once they were angry, nothing could stop them. The Varnock leaders were running out of places to hide. Their fleets were broken. Their outposts were gone. And now, Earth's warships moved closer to their homeworld. Commander Reeve stood aboard the Valor, the giant human flagship. His eyes were locked on the screen in front of him. The final mission was ready. The human fleet was in place. Every pilot, every soldier, every ship was prepared. "This is it," he said. "We finish what they started." At the same time, a message came from a small ship. It was weak, barely coming through, but the voice was clear. "This is Varnock. Civilian transport? We are not soldiers. We want to leave. Please don't shoot." Reeve looked at his officer. "Did you get their location?" "Yes, sir. They're near the edge of the battle zone." "Tell them to move to safe space. We don't target civilians." The officer nodded. This was something many species didn't understand. Even in war, humans had rules. They had hearts, but hearts could also be hard. The battle began before the sun rose on the Varnock homeworld. From orbit, human ships dropped precise strikes. No wasted shots, no chaos. Their goal was clear: break the Varnock's ability to make war, not to destroy their people. Fighter jets flew in tight groups. Drones swarmed like silent shadows. Human boots touched the ground. And when they did, the enemy ran. The Varnock were brave, but they were not ready. They had never seen soldiers like this, fast, smart, and fearless. One Varnock officer tried to rally his troops. "They are just humans," he shouted. "They bleed like us." But before he finished, two human soldiers appeared behind him. One of them simply said, "Yes, but we keep moving." And they did. Building by building, the city fell. The humans moved like lightning, but they also helped civilians escape. They gave food to children. They shielded the weak. Even in war, they showed honor. Back in orbit, the Valor received a message from the Varnock High Council. We wish to talk," the message said. "No more fighting, please." Reeve stared at the words. For a moment, he said nothing. Then, he answered, "You had your chance." But he still paused the attack. He sent a team to meet them one last time. The meeting was held in a ruined hall. The Varnock leaders looked broken. Their proud robes were torn. Their faces were tired. Commander Reeve entered, wearing his simple black armor. He stood tall, calm. One Varnock leader stood up. "Why are you like this?" he asked. "You are not the strongest, not the oldest. Why do you fight so hard?" Reeve answered slowly. "Because we come from a world that tried to kill us every day. Our storms can crush cities. Our animals can eat us alive. Our air can freeze or burn us. We learned to fight to live." He looked around at them. "We didn't want war. You brought it to us. You wanted allies, but treated us like prey." The Varnock leader lowered his head. "What now?" Reeve's voice was cold but clear. "Now, you rebuild. You pay for what you did, not with death but with peace." That day, the war ended. The Varnock signed a peace agreement. They gave up their weapons. They promised never to attack again, and Earth, true to its word, left them in peace. Across the galaxy, other species watched closely. Some feared Earth more than ever. Others respected them deeply. But all of them knew one thing. This is what humans do. They protect. They fight. They endure. And when pushed too far, they strike back harder than anyone imagined. Commander Reeve returned to Earth as a hero. But he didn't ask for praise. He simply walked among the people, quiet and thoughtful. A reporter asked him one question. "What should the galaxy remember about humans?" He smiled, just a little. "Just this," he said. "We don't start wars, but we finish them." And so, peace returned. But now, it was a peace shaped by respect, by caution, and by the memory of what humans were capable of, not because they loved war, but because they refused to lose. and in the stars. That truth would never be forgotten. Ura,